Andy, the Gabby Cabby. I had to change the title of this a little bit from what it was. I was doing daily gabbing with Andy, the Gabby Cabby, but I'm not sure whether YouTube tend to get their head around the term gabbing. That title means I keep having to put stuff in to appeal quite regularly. Joe Murray already. Hello. Hi Joe, how are you? Hope you're doing all right. King 77703, hello to you as well. What's the weather like in New York, Joe? It's absolutely freezing here. I've got 3 layers on, sitting in my car, and very, very cold. Yeah, I usually call this daily gabbing with Andy, the Gabby Cabby. But when I finish the stream and put it on YouTube, I have trouble with the monetization settings. I keep having to appeal to get it turned on, so hopefully a changeable word will do. Joe Murray says it's very gloomy in New York. I think the whole mood with everybody's very gloomy after the last 12 hours. Not that great. Sharon Shooter, afternoon to you. I'm glad you managed to get here at the beginning of a stream. Cove Lord, yes, I'm fine. I bet you're bloody freezing, living just round the corner from me. It's not that great. Jane Griffiths, hi Andy, gift of the gab. Yes, I certainly do try. Oi, oi, taxi, says Derek Owen. My mum's popped up. Hi, Grumps. Yeah, sorry, Mum. I forgot to text you to let you know I was live. I said I would, but I figured you'd turn up. Sharon Shooter, snowing in Nottinghamshire. Terry Waite, afternoon, Andy, and all the chat bloody freezing here. How's the lockdown affect your business? Larry Lockdown asks. I was just having a conversation with another airport transport firm about that. When we had the moronic variant identify itself, I had 2 customers going to South Africa and they cancelled. We've got all the news that we had yesterday to do with, these apparent new restrictions that are coming in with the testing being re-established and all that sort of thing. And I had a lady going to Spain tomorrow to see her mum, and she's cancelled. She doesn't want to risk getting stuck out there, which is understandable. But generally, when this thing happens, business isn't that great. It stops. It's really not good. So we have to find other things to do. I mean, before I discovered YouTube and you all discovered Andy the Gabby Cabby, I was delivering Just Eat and Uber Eats just to keep the pennies ticking over while everything was happening around us. But I don't know about you, and I'm interested in your opinion. I don't like the rhetoric in the media at the moment. It all seems very familiar to me, as it did a couple of years ago when all this first kicked off. It's not good. Larry Lockdown, do passengers have to wear a face nappy in your cab? I love that word. I had a conversation with another one of my drivers earlier about whether we are lumped in the same category as public transport. And I said, I will not be going down that road. They can say what they like. I didn't strictly enforce it before. I just said, I'm obliged to tell you what the law is. And then after that, I've done my job and it's up to you what you do. And I will take the same tack again as I did last time. I'm done. I'm not having it. It's really... I'm sick of it all now. Who else is sick of it? I bet you all are. Ian, hi Andy. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you popping in on a Sunday. Howard Bowen, I'm waiting to book a holiday once all this idiocy is over. Going to be a while. Yeah, I think it is going to be a while. Because when you instigate things such as more hoops to jump through, it does put people off, unfortunately. And I'm waiting for more. I'm waiting for more trouble. I really am. Darren says, I'm sick of it, mate. Yeah, you and me both. This is freedom or fascism, Jesus Jones says. Yeah. I watched why even bother listening to MSN? Good grief, Andy the Gabby Cabby. I listen because I want to see what the rhetoric is, and then I check it with other news sources, and then I can make my mind up of what's really going on. But what these politicians don't seem to realise is we've all got long memories. We all remember what's going on and what happened before. It's ridiculous. Jesus Jones, freedom equals no money, less rules, fascism in World War II times 1,000. You could well be right there. Cove Lord, brass monkeys. Yeah, we'll still have to try and arrange that meet-up at some point, Cove Lord. I know I keep saying it, but we'll have to try and make it happen before Christmas. Be nice to actually meet you, shake hands, and swap a couple of beers while we're still able to. Blue's sick of it as well. I think everybody is. We just want to live our normal lives. Super Robert said, I do as I'm told. Yes, I very much doubt that. I think you're very naughty deep down. Mask enforcement is just another excuse for bullies to bully people. Yeah, I'm going to test this out, big style, from Tuesday. Savage Media, £5 super chat. Stop GB News interviewing migrants. As for the ninja flu, feck it. I like it. Thank you for the super chat. That's wonderful of you for your support as always. Truth Junkie, I found out the other day that Homes England is building 4,000 houses in my town. This will more than double the size of this once quaint rural area. Who will get these homes? Homeless, vets, or... Yeah, unfortunately. They seem to prioritise others over us. I live not far from a collection of small, what you would call towns or villages, and one of them is called Birchington. And in Birchington, the demographics changed a little bit now over recent years, but it used to be middle-aged retirees and older people over there. And there was lots of really nice farm fields, places to walk, and all sorts of things. And they're looking at building houses right across it, thousands of them, and it will completely change the look of this area. It's really not good. Broken Britain, hello Andy, did you check the link about the South African? Yes, I did. I've seen that video footage, and I'm not surprised in the slightest. Really, not surprised. Larry Lockdown, Serco will run shared houses. I tell you, we're getting a lot of contributors to the chat now. These things, these daily chats seem to be, gaining some quite fast traction. Everybody wants an outlet. They want to have a chat with like-minded people, and it's really good. Howard Bowen, if a situation's as serious as they claim, why are we not stopping the dinghy folk? Yeah, it's. I've done another video which will come out later about that. Richard Void, hi Andy. Hi to you, Richard. Hope you're well. Jacqueline Watt, loving the daily. I love doing them. I really love doing them. It gives a chance to interact with you on a live basis, and we can have a natter and air what we think. I did a pop-up one. Missy Foy, hi Andy, hi everyone, welcome to a snowy Sunday. I saw you over on Belfield's chat last night, Missy Foy. I did say hello. I don't know whether you saw that, but that chat was moving awfully quick. Yeah, speaking of Belfield's live thing he did yesterday at 9, right at the end he had a yes-no game. It was basically, will you wear a muzzle, yes or no? And you've got the chat on the side, and every single one is like, no, 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 no. Same with the phones as well. It just really showed you what people are thinking and feeling about this. And when I did my little pop-up just after 8 o'clock last night, same thing. A lot of anger and a lot of, we're not doing this shit anymore. It's really bad. Cove Lord, yes, Sandy, defo sorts something out. Yeah, I think that pub that we've mentioned before is kind of halfway in between your house and mine, I'm getting the impression. So we'll have to do that, definitely. That'd be nice. Missy Foy, only one plonker, said yes. Yeah, that was right at the end. I remember that. Factual Breakdown's here. Hello, Factual Breakdown. Hope you're well, and thank you for your communications yesterday. That's great. Truth Junkie, I will not be complying is the general status of your messages, and you're not alone. We've all had enough of it. Where else are we? Savage Media saying hello to Factual Breakdown. Larry Lockdown. There's a lot of talk about that all over the internet. There really is. You know, I got sent a big list of stuff by what I would term a troll regarding that. And yeah, I've had conversations in private. Let's just put it that way and leave it at that. I don't want to go near any of that. Honesty and Truth. Truth Junkie. Factual Breakdown. Yeah, hashtag no to both things. That's absolutely correct. There's a couple of you in the chat that I've made moderators. I'm not sure whether it works correctly, but you should have a spanner against your name. It should allow you to scan things for me. I should all knuckle down like me. Yeah, definitely. No mask. Hashtag no mask. We all feel the same. Factual Breakdown. Message to Cove Lord. Hi friend, I sent you a contact on your website yesterday. Cove Lord, I did forward your website onto her, just as you requested, so she's got it. I don't know what all that was about, but I'll leave it all to you. Joe Murray has said hi, Factual Breakdown, so he spotted you, he's in the chat. Factual Breakdown, yay, I'm a mod. Well, you offered, and I made you a mod, so there you go. And I'll have a chat with the mods in private, the kind of things that I would like you to keep an eye out for. Cove Lord says that he's replied to you. Jody, hi Andy, great to live chat with you again. Take a peek at your inbox. I'm sending you some more drawings. Wonderful. I've shared your drawings with my wife as well. I hope you don't mind. And she thinks you're very talented as well. I particularly like, well, you know, I like the aircraft and the cars and the trains and everything. Absolutely beautiful pencil drawings. If ever you want me to do anything and show some of your work on here, let me know, and perhaps we can do something. So our veterans in the UK will be on the streets for winter while the dinghy divers live in hotels. What a disgrace, honesty and truth. Correct, yet again, they're being prioritised over our own people, our own that you know, fought for this country and gave up everything. It's disgusting. You do know you have to pay mods £1,000 a month. That's under negotiation. £1,000 of what exactly? Oh dear. Savage Media, can you drop me an email? I'm this screen name at Gmail. Okay, that's from Factual Breakdown. Where are we? Factual Breakdown has replied to the thing about £1,000 a month. Strictly volunteer only. I was told it's always best to have some mods on here, and then everybody, you know, you can come and go as you please, basically. But there are, you know, generally everybody's well behaved and respectful, and we have a nice chat. There are things every now and again that I don't want to see, and we'll discuss that in private. Honesty and Truth, Terry Waite, I saw a woman walking a dog today in the fresh air. She was double muzzled. I see that all the time. I can't understand it. You're on your own, you're in the fresh air, and yeah, thanks Savage Media. I'll bear that in mind, definitely, because I could do with another couple, because these chats seem to be gaining a lot of traction. Yeah, go back to the muzzles. You're on your own. You're in the fresh air, and no one around you. Yet you put one on. And in some cases, two. It's crazy, and I think that's just the way everybody's been made to feel. Angela Ing's with us. Hello, Angela. And you're saying it's snowing in New York. I tell you, I've seen pictures of New York and around Central Park and stuff when it's snowing, and it does look absolutely beautiful, although I should imagine very cold. One day I will like to go there. That's on my bucket list, definitely, and more so now I've made the connections with you guys. But the way things are at the moment, I think travelling's going to become very difficult soon. I had a customer cancel on me earlier because she got the jitters about what's going on. She's pretty frightened that things are going to get, stuck down again. Factual breakdown, disgrace of the nation, both one in here in the US, where there are far too many homeless veterans. One homeless veteran is one too many. They fight and they die and they sacrifice everything for their countries. I mean, I read a story the other day, which I might put something together on. Hello, Sandra B. From South Tyneside. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Last orders, please. We'll drop you an email later today. Factual breakdown. Okay. Hi, last orders. Hope you're well. Thank you for popping into this Sunday chat. Nice of you to go and come and say hello to everybody. Yeah, if we go back to Vietnam, the Vietnam War, there was a commander, colonel actually at the time, Hal Moore, and he was a very, very skilled and very, very clever man with regard to what goes on the battlefield. And he was dropped into a valley in Vietnam called Ia Drang, which was known as the Valley of Death, and for very good reasons. And him and his battalion of 400 men were quickly surrounded by somewhere around the region of 2,000 Vietnamese soldiers, and a battle ensued. And because of Hal Moore's leadership in that particular instance, they won that particular battle. And it was all down to Hal Moore. And they're looking at renaming Fort Benning at some point, and there's a petition that's gaining some traction that they're talking about trying to get it renamed to Fort Moore, as the favourite. Last orders, please. Good, Andy, and a big hello to chat. Yay, hello. Hello to everybody in your pub. I hope you're back open again and everything's well up there. Your father's saying hello to you as well. Hello, my boy. Kiss, kiss. Michael Castrian, hello mate. Hello, thank you for coming in, Michael, on this very chilly Sunday. I mean, you can't see it now, but I'm sitting in my car and the window's starting to steam up around me. I think that's with all the hot air coming out of my mouth. Where are we? Factual Breakdown's been an advocate for the homeless since 1982 and have helped in 4 states, with the state New York soon to be the 5th. Yeah, we have this in Margate, where I live. There's a shelter down Margate seafront, and people are sleeping in there, and they're exposed to the elements and harsh wind, and it's horrible. And I know there's several organisations that go down there and try and make sure they've got warm clothing and food and anything else they so need. It's horrible to see people get in that situation. Sue, somewhat late. Hi, Andy, and all watching. The nonsense continues. It's BS. It's very much BS. Very much so. And, I'm sick of it. I've been monitoring the situation with the news lately, just to see what's going on. And I see all the same rhetoric we saw a couple of years ago. Anyway, we've got about 100 people watching at the moment. Well, it's just jumped to 106 actually. So hello and welcome to you all. If you've just joined us, thank you for coming to us on a Sunday and having a chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby and his friends. If you haven't done so already, hit the old thumbs up button underneath the chat, because it does help promote the channel and everything. And perhaps if you haven't done so already, take the opportunity to subscribe as well and hit the notification bell. That way you can keep up with everything that we do. That's grand. We're actually growing quite rapidly now. I'm absolutely gobsmacked every day. I look at the figures, which I do fairly regularly. Andy Williamson, will you put plastic in your cab to split the front and back? No. is the blunt answer to that. I know one of my drivers, he's in his 60s, bless him, and he's got that, and he has had for, you know, an amount of time, and I don't blame him with his circumstances. That's his choice. It's all about personal choice, freedom of choice. I did right back at the beginning, because I thought very differently about things then, as we all did. We were all made to be very fearful of what was going on, but I took mine out. I was driving this car as a cab at the time, and you can see right here, I can put my hand at the back. There is no screen, and it's going to stay that way. Michael Castrian, Macron having his party without Patel. Do we really need France? Couldn't we fill in the channel with concrete and do all our imports via Holland? We're not bothered. Yeah, it might come to that, Michael. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, I brought you a video a day or two ago where Boris apparently pissed off the French because of Broken Britain's going. Bye, Andy. People in the chat, phone out of battery. I have to make sure mine's fully charged every time I do one of these, otherwise I get called out. I nearly did the other day. MM says yes, bollocks from the off, not necessarily clean ones either. Boris sent a letter to the French with a 5-point plan about what to do, and it appeared to give them the ump, and Pretty had a invite to talks withdrawn, but I don't think it would have been much use even if she went, would you? But how is everybody today? What mood are you in? Are you cheesed off with it all? Are you feeling cheerful? I try and be a glass half full kind of guy. There's no other way to be. You've got to be, with everything that's going on, and keeping a close eye on things. Some bloke in Nottingham has got the new strain, so the whole bleeding nation has to wear a muzzle from Tuesday. Yeah, apparently there's one up there and one in Brentwood in Essex. And reading the news earlier, 13 have ended up in the Netherlands with it. And I can see it multiplying very quickly, or the impression of it multiplying very quickly. So I think we're in a position at the moment where, you know, things could change rapidly, day by day. It's all panic management, knee-jerk reaction, and we all need to tell them to write off. But we'll have to see what happens over the next few days. Andy, the government are not going to stop this. It's all about... Yeah, I had this... got to go, opening now. Big love to Andy in the chat. That's from Last Orders, please. Okay, Last Orders, please. Nice of you to drop in again. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you later, probably tomorrow, hopefully, when I do this again. But yeah, I had a chat with my wife, and I said to her, I'm not sure it's about that anymore. I think it's all about control of the populace, and that's my take on it. And I get the impression I'm not alone. LCG, in the words of Corporal Jones, don't panic, don't panic. Yeah, Clive Dunn, bless him. I love Corporal Jones and Dad's Army, brilliant series. Did anyone ever see the film remake? Catherine Zeta-Jones as the kind of double agent spy kind of thing. I'm not sure what I thought of that. I much preferred the original. Moronic variant is deep state panic. Exemptions are still in use. Just get an exemption lanyard off eBay and wear it to shut the sheepies up. Yeah. Definitely. Sharon Shooter, it's always been about control. Yeah, more and more people are waking up to that now, I think. And I think the government's going to have a lot of problems if they're going to try and control us. I mean, all you've got to do is read further afield and look at places like Australia and the way they're treating their citizens. You just get to think it's not so much about what it was originally meant to be, and it's morphing into something else. It's crazy, crazy stuff. South African health minister blown out of proportion. Yeah, I watched that piece before I come on earlier. It's really crazy. Joe Murray was so glad to learn that you and Ange hold my viewpoint with regard to mandates. Shannon was forced, and kids are still being forced to wear the old muzzles. Joe Murray summed it up nicely in one word yesterday: freedom. That's what it's all about. We have to maintain that freedom. Factual breakdown. Please do not use the F-bomb, folks, or your comments will be deleted. Oh, my new mod is on the case. Yes, yep. Joe Murray said freedom. I will allow that F-bomb. That's all good by me. That's a good F-bomb. When I first started on YouTube, I did swear a lot. I did have a bit of a gutter mouth. And several female viewers kept messaging me saying, stop swearing or I'm off. So unless I get really irate about something, I'm trying hard to not swear. I don't have to. You don't need to hear it. You just want a nice chat and know what's going on. Yes, freedom is allowed, as is Let's Go Brandon. Yes, 2 F-bombs right there, which are perfectly acceptable. Missy Foy says, laugh out loud, John Redman. Andy, there's a British war hero who came to the US to serve in Vietnam with Joe Sanchez. His name is Sergeant Fred Booker, who lives in Derbyshire, England. I wonder if you heard of him. I have heard that name, and I'm sure I read up about it, Joe. There's a website that I'm really interested in called War History Online, and it has a catalogue of different soldiers and what happened to them, different events in different wars. It's really, really thorough and interesting. I'm sure it's there. I read it. I'll try and refresh my memory of it when I finish, and I'll have a look later on this evening. But yeah, because of my father was a cop, and my father also served in the army beforehand, and a couple of generations of my family are army. So I've always had a natural affinity for, police work and army, military, all the stories. And I could sit down and talk to a veteran all day long. I think they're great people. And in this country particularly, they deserve a hell of a lot more support than they're actually getting. Joe Murray, I love Joe Sanchez. I wanted to speak to him by phone. He may be the only one who can share memories of my godfather, which is so important to me. I watched an episode of Police Off the Cuff. Joe, was that episode of Police Off the Cuff where it was you, Joe Sanchez, and the other guy, Police Off the Cuff After Hours, wasn't it? I sat and watched the replay of that. And Joe was telling, well, I suppose you call them war stories from Vietnam through to his police service. It was very interesting to watch. And I think it's on their replay list somewhere. It's brilliant. Factual breakdown. Last orders is my youngest son and a good egg. If you get over here, he will look after you. It's in his DNA. That's from Savage Media to Factual Breakdown. That's it. Yeah, you, Joe Sanchez and Mark DeMeo. Yeah, when I'm out on the airport runs, I tend to treat live streams like a podcast. I pull them up on my phone, minimise them so it's not a distraction, and then route the sound through the Bluetooth in the car so I can have like a podcast playing as I'm driving. And, really, really interesting. I do that with yourselves, Police Off the Cuff. Duty Ron when I've seen him, all sorts of things, really, really powerful like that. Honesty and truth, my favourite in Dad's Army was Wilson. What a character. Yeah, definitely. I remember the episode of Dad's Army where they captured that submarine crew, and Private Pike said, what are the words? Whistle while you work, Hitler is he's off army, so's his army, whistle while you... And the German got his notepad out and said, tell me your name. And Captain Mannering says, don't tell him, Pike. And gave the game away. Perfect, absolutely brilliant comedy. I still laugh to this day. 3 best US channels are allegedly guilty. Duty Ron and Police Off the Cuff. Yeah, I'll go with that. Factual breakdown. Let's have a big shout out for those 3 channels. Sharon Shooter, laugh emoji. Yeah, Dad's Army. Absolutely classic. You can't make them up like that anymore. My other favourite, of course, was Only Fools and Horses back in the day. Daz is back. Hey, Andy, loving your content. Thank you very much. It's comments like that that keep me going. I'm loving every second. I really am. And the more I do it, the more I become obsessed with it. And the more I like looking into stories and turning stones over and trying to find the truth, which it's all about. People starving and homeless in 2021. I tell you, this chat is going really fast. UK, what have we elected, giving dingy people 4-star hotels, 3 meals a day plus benefits? Our government just put 10 billion in the pot to keep them. I know it's disgusting, all backwards. Fancy a cuppa, Andy? Yes, I do, as it happens. I could do with a nice cup of tea. I got my own Andy the Gabby Cabby mug delivered to me, because if I'm selling them on the merch store and a few have gone, I wanted to, you know, get the mug myself so I can see what people are actually receiving. Another £5 super chat from Savage Media. Why do only fools and horses work? Yeah, great tune. Thank you for the super chat, Savage Media. I appreciate it. Joe Murray says, to Factual Breakdown, I'm sure Joe Sanchez would love to talk to you. Joe Sanchez actually come on here and dropped a comment on one, and that was nice to see him pop up on here and make a comment. Magic 21 slow mode on. Yeah, I've got to try and sort that out, so I can read things. I mean, with this streaming software, I can actually use my finger and scroll back and have a look at some people. Where are we? Honesty and truth, no muzzle. Andy Pandy will never be questioned. It's a no-go. Yeah. Tink123, Tony, it's coming. The people have to see the network's crime first. Tony B, Go Diganucha, I think I said that right. Yeah, Factual Breakdown, I agree with what you just said to Joe. People like Joe Sanchez, I could listen to for hours again and again. They've got so much life experience, some born out of blood, sweat and tears, and the way they tell the stories about what happened to them as well, it's absolutely brilliant. Alfie Naylor, those that are subscribed to Resistance GB will probably know about the Leicestershire pub landlord who spoke out about everything. If the snow melts, I'm going to stop by there tomorrow. I'll check that out. I will. Chrissy Williams is here. Afternoon, Andy, and everyone in the chat. How's Folkestone today, Chrissy? It's absolutely peaches here. Joe Murray at $9.99 super chat. Please have a coffee on me, my friend. I certainly will. Don't you worry about that. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, as always. Savage Media, Factual Breakdown. Steward is last orders, please. So please look out for his email. He's a very, very caring lad. Honesty and truth. Who was your favourite character in Only Fools and Horses? Mine was Rodney / Dave. My Uncle Gary's just joined the chat. Hello, Uncle. Hope you're doing well. Did you try and video call me yesterday? I saw a thing in there. But I never heard my phone go off. Maybe we can have that chat later. Where are we? Okay, I'll try and call you later on at some point. We'll have a chat. It's been a long time. Keep missing me. Factual Breakdown, $5 from Factual Breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe to Allegedly Guilty. Tell Joe Murray Andy sent you. Yeah, my favourite character in Only Fools and Horses, definitely Del Boy. Goes without saying. I loved Boise, John Chalice, bless him. May he rest in peace. And what's the other one? Trigger. It was just brilliant, you know. My name's not Dave Trigger, it's Rodney. All right, Dave. You know, absolute classic comedy timing. Brilliant. Savage Media just subbed. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you for all your ongoing support. Where are we? King77703. YouTube take 30% off super chats, use alternative methods. Yeah, whenever you do a super chat, YouTube do take their cut. If you are worried about that and you want to donate something to the channel, there are other options in the description field, which I put underneath here. I have a Ko-Fi account set up, one for America and one for Britain as well. So if you are of mind and worried about that, then you can go down that route. But I appreciate everything you do regardless. I really do. It's really nice of all of you. My uncle's watching Only Fools and Horses right now. I've seen them all so many times that I can tell what episode I'm watching probably within 30 seconds. I mean, if my mate Dave was in the chat, he'd tell you. He's another Only Fools and Horses fan as well. Savage Media, Andy needs PayPal link on bottom of screen running. I have a PayPal account linked to the Gabby Cabby, well, we'll say channel and business, but not everybody seems to like it, so I just took it off for now. That's the last thing I want to do, put stuff up that people can't make use of. Andy, do you think, like I do, we're going to go back into lockdown? Mike Alligators, I'm very concerned about that, to be honest. I have a very long memory with regard to rhetoric and what we're told and not told in the news. And I'm starting to see telltale signs of what we saw a couple of years ago, is all I'll say about that. So I am getting concerned. Just say no. Simples, says Truth Junkie. I think they're going to have problems with compliance if they try anything like that, that's for sure. I mean, Sajid Javid was on the telly, I think, earlier today, and he wouldn't give a direct answer to that at all. He was very, very evasive, and that's a worrying thing as well. Never trust a politician when they're asked a direct question, because they never give you a direct answer. And I'm sure that's not particular to just the UK. How hard is it to say no? It's not law, it's guidance. Absolutely correct, Truth Junkie. And I think people get confused between the two. Savage Media, love PayPal. Run it on the bottom of the screen, please. We need our... Yeah, I'll look into how I can put overlays and website addresses and things. I'm actually on the chat so you can see it. So I'll have a little play with that before my next broadcast and get something out to you. I love Peppa Pig, Alfie Naylor. Don't be horrible about Peppa Pig. We went to Peppa Pig Land a few years ago with my kids, and they had some actors obviously dressed up as the characters, and my son kept sneaking up behind one of them and grabbing hold of the pig's tail. Yay! My mate Dave's in the chat, Dave Laslett, he's just turned up. I mentioned him earlier, seeing if he was around, and I've just seen him come in and say hi. Mike Alligators, same here, Andy. Don't forget Boris Johnson's roadmap was supposed to be one way only. His words, not ours. Correct, and he changes his frickin' mind all the time. It's mad. Sharon Shooter, it was Boris. It certainly was. Mods, Dave Carr says. Factual breakdown, too many sheepy, and that's really bad. Yeah, very good. I love it. No mask. Has Peppa Pig had the booster? It's coming. Everything is said for a reason. The stupidity is out. What I generally think, I'll give it a week, because they've already said this new thing has dropped the efficiency of our current thing down to 60%. I'll give it a week, maybe 2 at most, and they'll come on the telly and they'll say they've done research and they found that if you have number 3, it will boost your immunity all the way back up again. You mark my words, something like that will come out. It's all about the 3rd one. That's what I think, that's what I believe. But the problem is when people, listen to the television and the mainstream media, it's very telling. At first they get scared about it, and then eventually they start to wake up. I had a conversation with my friend yesterday, and I think he's starting to wake up. He's realising we're all being worked from behind, and we have been for a long time. Absolutely disgraceful, and I hope it does stop soon. Yeah, Chrissy Williams, you're right. Anything to scare people. That seems to be what it's all about now. Where are we? Yeah, Sue Hay says they're reviewing in 3 weeks, just in time for Christmas. Yeah, it's not. The review in 3 weeks will be a tightening of the bolts, I think. I don't think anything will be released. I think we're going down a slippery slope. And I wonder if that stupid blooming furlough scheme will end up back on again. We will see. Remember, Boris is buggered. Carrie's company, Oceania, is funded by the deep state. He's worried to death. R.E. the Epstein case. Boris is behind Brandon and USA. Yeah, very worried. Screw the review. Can I say that? Yeah, you can say that. No mask. You're entitled to your opinion, same as everyone else. Andy, don't forget they were talking about number 4 in the spring. I think it'll be again and again and again and again. And when you get this compulsion, you know, you will have it. What about the flu jab? You know, why isn't that compulsory? Why can we go out and do everything that we can do if we don't have to? I've only had one flu one in 20 years, and that's because I was advised to because of a chest complaint I had all those years ago, which doesn't bug me that much now, but it's something very mad about this. Savage Media, I hate my foil hat on. I work for Channel 4. Do you now? Well, you can probably take medication for that. But yeah, everyone's got tinfoil hats on, and we're all being proved right. That's the trouble. Truth Junkie, Andy the Gabby Cabby, you're based down in Kent, right? Margate? I'm in that vicinity, yes. You're absolutely spot on there. I did a video a while back where I gave you a walking tour of Margate seafront. I showed you the route kind of down there and across to my mates. So, yeah, you've got the geography more or less spot on. Free tea, they need to put as much effort into finding cures for cancer and such like. Yeah, I've got a contact of mine, a friend, that used to work with my mum years ago. She's the same age as me, in her 40s, and she's been diagnosed with cancer. I only found out as my mum did a couple of days ago, and there's a crowdfunder for her where she's trying to raise some money just to get by. And if I can find the information, I might put a bit of publicity her way, because I think she needs the assistance and the help. Lovely girl, and I was gutted to read that. Paul Oakes, they're trying to put us in a hamster tunnel. If you want to be free, break the Peppy Pig control mechanism. Yeah, totally true, totally true. Oh, okay, Lone Survivalist. I used to work in the Flamingo Arcade in Margate in 2001. Lone Survivalist, do you remember Mr. G's just up the road? I mean, it burnt down in a bad fire when Jimmy Godden had it. I used to work in there, and also the Dreamland Cinema arcade next to there as well. So we may have come across each other, you never know. I mean, I would have been there 78, 88, no, I'd have been there around 2000-ish. So it's quite possible. Joe Murray, my doctor's trying to sell me on the new Delta coming out in January. No thanks. These pharma companies are the real drug dealers. Yeah, it's what it's all about, isn't it? Money. Oh dear, I'm getting a dry throat. It's all the talking. Tony Whitworth, the rich did well out of the furlough. The self-employed went bankrupt. Oh yeah. I mean, they got very little help and took their time. Yeah, David Laslett, Andy, everything burnt down that Godden had. That's right. We used to call it an act of Godden. Gone but not forgotten. Savage Media, Benbon Brothers, Margate, Dreamland. Yeah, it's still there. It's still open. They do events and a lot of music concerts and things like that now. Who we got now? And I used to work for Benbon Brothers as well. When I came home, I needed a couple of jobs. I mean, the pay was crap, and you're having to do 60 hours a week, but a job was a job, and I needed the job at the time. So it was all good. Very long hours. There are rides there, Savage Media. There are still rides there. We've been down there a couple of summers, and you can go on the rides. They've got a Ferris wheel, a couple of roller coasters, and all sorts of things. It's not like it was many, many years ago, back in the 80s and that kind of thing, but it's okay. No mask. Gotta love Andy for just being a normal guy with brain cells. Dying art on YouTube these days. Thanks, No Mask. All I just try and do is be me, have a chat, and just tell you what's on my mind, and I hope you do the same in return. That's what it's all about, really. Tony Whitworth, I lost my business and was forced to file for bankruptcy in February this year. It took me 4 years to get off the ground. I got nothing from the government. I lost it all. You're not alone there. There are so many in that position. And the problem is they treat everything with the same blanket thing, don't they? You know, one size fits all. And unfortunately, it doesn't fit all. It's not good. Lils, thank you for the compliment there on my subscribers going up. I appreciate all your support. Yeah, for those of you that have just joined, if you can hit that button for me, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, it's kind of got to 20,000 and it's gone absolutely crazy. I was told that might happen by somebody. Helen Husky, no, I've not got any variant of the old Vinda flu. It's just where I'm in the cold and talking and I'm getting a dry throat and it's making me cough a little, that's all. Nothing to worry about. What I'll probably do next time is come out here with my Andy the Gabby Cabby mug, which you can buy from my merch store. There'll be a link to that in the description, and I'll have a couple of sups out of that. Keep the old throat lubricated. Lesson learnt. Savage Media says, I'm from Whitstable, love the Gabby Cabby. Andy, you helped so many people just by talking. Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's why I come to YouTube in the first place. I wanted an outlet, and I found this was a good one. And now people listen to me, and we all chat. Oh, yeah, there's that cough again. As I said, don't panic. It's just where my voice is working overtime. Alfie Naylor. All I know is I'll not be able to do it again. I'm skint. There's some real tragic stories out there about the effect all this has had on people. It really is bad, really, all of it. Free tea, building my natural immunity right now. I usually find a large Scotch works bails anything off if you've got something. Sharon Shooter, have a drink, Andy. Oh, I did last night. I might have had too many drinks. Red Bull helps, Andy. Well, guess what, Richard Void? Did that yesterday. But that's an empty can now. Broken Britain, lived in Cliftonville 14 years. So you're here, are you, Broken Britain, actually in Cliftonville now? Let me know about that. That's another person maybe we can get together at some point. Sharon Shooter, you had a drink as well, did you? Yeah. You worked for Thanet Cars, Broken Britain. I did when I first started taxi driving. I did 2.5 years with Thanet Cars. Then I moved over to Central, and then I started my own business after that. Helen Husky, hot whiskey. Yeah, I do like a good hot toddy. Andy, how are you getting on? Getting your other car fixed? Oh my god, that's a nightmare, Mike Alligators, and it caused me a problem yesterday, which I got round. Oh, Broken Britain, Cars for You first. I did a stint with them. I lasted a month, and it didn't end well. Their 50-50 deal on their cars didn't sit well with me, and I left under a bit of a cloud, shall we say, and never looked back. But there you go. Yeah, speaking of my car, it needed a suspension arm and a ball joint done to get it through its council MOT and compliance. And I said to my mechanic, please replace both on both sides. Just get it all done, because I don't want the problem later on. And he thinks the suspension arms had never been changed. He thinks they're the ones from new. And you've had you know, a good 100 or so thousand miles of muck and crap chucked all over the bolts. They've rusted up and he can't get them undone. So what he's got to do is actually drill them out and get new bolts, which come on Monday. And I'm hoping the car will be back with me Monday lunchtime. So I'm using the backup at the moment. Missy Foy, I've seen many videos about this. They can track you everywhere you go. Yeah, it's this society we're living in now is very much like that, isn't it? Richard Void, shocking. No mask, I'm still at it, says S.A.T. Silky, using new flu to take interest off Maxwell Epstein. But you may well be correct about that. They're very adept at the art of distraction, aren't they? Who else have we got? Spot on. I came off all meds, feeling way better for it. That's in reply to Sue Hay. So it's really nice, this, because, you know, we've got 135 in the chat now. And I see people interacting all the time. And you're actually making good contacts with each other. Absolutely wonderful. And it's nice to see, and it gives me the impetus to run these things every day, and I hope it does help you. Savage Media, Andy the Gabby Cabby and chat, catch you all soon and stay sane. Listen to your own reason and not the government. Very, very good advice. Listen to your own sense, you know, try not to be influenced by what you're reading and what you're seeing coming out of Downing Street and other places. It's definitely trying to work you from behind. Jeff Bridges, turn the mainstream media off and you'll be fine. Yeah, don't look at papers, turn the telly off. As soon as you see BBC particularly, get rid. Andy, why don't you use part of your garage, do it up a bit and use it as your studio? Sandra P says. I actually started in my garage. I sat on a stool with a brick wall and a punch bag behind me. And when the whole Andy the Gabby Cabby thing came into fruition, I ended up in my car. I mean, somebody suggested to me get a cut-out background of a cab and go back in the garage. Maybe something to look at. The problem is I think my wife's got other ideas for the garage. Sue Hay, plenty of fresh foods. We shop at a market. Trust your own instinct if it feels wrong. No mask. Don't give the MSN a hard time. I trust them. I know you're not telling the truth there. No mask. Thank you. Less of that. Very naughty. Lucinda Sweden. Hi, Andy. Hello to you. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing all right. We're getting more people in here now. It's up to about, well over 130 at the moment, nearly 140. So we're getting some good traction on these little chats now. I'm really pleased about that. Tony Whitworth, I overdosed on a lot of truth today, especially on your channel, Andy. Onwards and upwards, well done. I appreciate that, Tony, and all the support you show me. I'm really pleased with the way it's going. Yorkshire Monkey, afternoon, Andy. Afternoon to you, Yorkshire Monkey. Thank you for joining. Hope you're well. I don't know what the weather's like up your neck of the woods, but it's bloody peaches here right now. Number one fan, hi, Andy. When you come up as number one fan, I think people start arguing over the title of Andy's number one Gabby Cabby fan. It's quite amusing when I see it. Yeah, Missy Foy, I'm watching the numbers and it's really, really pleasing. Yeah, Steve Miles, you've said moronic flu. I was thinking about this, and they say Omicron is an anagram of moronic, and then the old muzzles they're bringing back in on Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Now, the British in here will realise what I mean by that, but it all seems to be code for we're taking the piss, working you from behind. It's crazy stuff, absolutely crazy, and you couldn't make any of it up. Hey, who else we got? Oh, Yorkshire Monkey, it's snowing where you are. Okay. I reckon we'll probably get some of that down here soon. It wouldn't surprise me. Truth Junkie, got rid of my TV 45 years ago. I hardly watch any TV now. Andy, how do you connect with so many international followers? Darren Caser. I literally just sit here and talk and you find me. It's as simple as that. I just do what I do and you come in. There's no other explanation really. Other than that, I see Joe Murray and Factual Breakdown are having a nice conversation. Yeah, Joe Murray. Shannon Lee's doing well. Factual Breakdown emails me fairly regularly, and such a bright kid, and she's doing well. Sounds like she's got a good future. So hats off to her and all those young people out there trying to get themselves educated and get somewhere in the world. I get very concerned with some educational establishments where they try and indoctrinate our kids. Andy, have you had to have the jab due to your taxi job? Mike Alligators. Oh, okay. Nobody's ever asked me that before, and I will be honest. I've had the 2 jabs. I had the 2 jabs for the very simple reason. I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. And it's a decision I regret. Okay. Reading the narrative and everything that's happening around the world, I do wonder whether that was the wisest thing that I should have done. And when it comes to number 3, number 4, number 5, however many more, I'm done. It's utter bullshit, all of it. And I'm done. I had side effects. It felt like a bad hangover, really. I kind of got this overall over my head, and I had to go to bed. But other than that, I was okay. But looking at the risk factors, and I don't want to know anymore. And if they come for my children, you know, they might have quite a problem on their hands. We have to be careful with what we talk about with that sort of thing on these live streams. Now, I try and answer the question, you know, a little bit brief in my answers, just give you enough so we don't get flagged. But, you know, I was one of these that believed it was the right thing to do for the right reason, so I did. And I very much wish I didn't now. I certainly won't be doing any more. It's not good. Martin, please don't get... Oh, don't you worry about that. No way. Well, we were told as well, weren't we? If you got it, no transmission, and you couldn't get it. And now it's quite obvious that's not true. It's a bad situation. Let's see what other people we got in the chat. We had a little bit of a lag there, and we've had a new subscriber, which I appreciate. I get notified of that in these chats. First was rough for 3 days, second Jan. Yeah, everyone's different, but it's you know, a risky proposition, I think, now. Truth Junkie, hashtag pure. Yeah, I wish more people were, to be honest. It's closing in on us, all this. Anyway, folks, we're coming up to the hour, and I don't generally like to let these things run over an hour. I think that's enough. I've really enjoyed talking to you all. There's getting on nearly 160 in the chat now. I really appreciate you all popping by, saying hello, and communicating with each other. And yeah, if you haven't done so already, please show your support for the channel with the options you've got underneath. We're really going some now. It's absolutely brilliant. There'll be some content coming out for you later on tonight from about 9 o'clock onwards. I've pre-recorded some content for you on various things, including outing somebody that's trying to be a little bit clever with us, and I will tell you all about that later. Thank you again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I know, depending on where you are, you'll be at different times of the day, lunchtime. And those of you in Britain, it's about 4 o'clock now, more or less. So, yes, thank you again. I'll be back tomorrow with another daily chat and more content. And until then, I'll sign off the way I always do. Toodaloo.